Now, rejection sucks, but what if I told you that every rejection is actually a cheat code to getting better? I went back, studied my mistakes, and then used the same approach again, fixing everything I did wrong. The result, completely different, my brother. Most guys take rejection personally, but the real reason they get rejected is that they never improve their approach. Today, I'm showing you exactly how to do that.
Excuse me, miss. Excuse me, miss. Did I catch you at a bad time?
No, what's up?
What's your name? I'm trying to have a conversation, that's all. I said, did I catch you at a bad time? You're still working, still.
Well, yeah, I'm going to yoga class.
Oh, okay. How often do you go out there?
I've been getting back into going to the studio like a couple times a week.
Okay. Is that all you do for recreation?
For what?
Like, recreation?
No, I do yoga. I like to go for walks.
Yeah.
Things like
Do you go to school here?
No, I'll be starting at Eastern in the fall.
Oh, what you about to study?
Nursing.
No. Oh, that's a big one still.
Yeah.
Why do you choose that?
Yeah. I had a lot of medical problems growing up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to help other people too as well.
Yeah.
That's
Personal things.
that's admirable. I want to see you again though.
I'm not open to that.
Fair enough. I'll take it easy, okay?
In this clip, I played it way too safe. This wasn't an outright rejection. It was me rejecting myself before she even had the chance. Let's break down exactly what happened and where I failed so you can avoid making the same mistakes. The first mistake, excuse me miss, did I catch you at a bad time? Why this was weak? This was me subconsciously seeking permission to speak. Instead of confidently assuming the interaction was welcome, I gave her an easy out right from the start. By asking, did I catch you at a bad time? I was already signaling uncertainty and hesitation. Now, what happened because of this? I made the interaction passive, not assertive. It immediately lowered my status in her mind, like I needed her approval to continue. She subconsciously sensed my fear of rejection, which made it less engaging for her. Now, what I should have done? Instead of framing it as a question, I should have just stated my presence confidently. Something like, hey, I saw you walking and I wanted to come say hi. No hesitation, no looking for validation, direct, confident, and forward moving, eh? Now, the second mistake. I'm trying to have a conversation, that's all. Why this was weak? This line came across as needy and aimless. I was trying to make my intent harmless instead of owning the moment. It's like I was saying, please just give me a little attention, rather than leading the interaction with confidence. Now, what happened because of this? It removed all intrigue and excitement. It made it seem like I was seeking validation instead of leading. It forced her into answering my questions rather than engaging naturally. Now, what I should have done. Instead of just saying I'm trying to have a conversation, I should have created a playful, engaging frame. Something like, you looked like you were on a mission. Where's the adventure taking you? This adds playfulness rather than making it sound like I'm hoping for her approval. The third mistake, talking too fast and question dumping. Now, why this was weak? I was firing off questions back to back, almost like an interrogation. This made the conversation feel one-sided and transactional. Instead of letting the conversation flow, I was grasping for something to stick, you get me? Now, what happened because of this? It killed the emotional connection. She didn't have the time to process and invest. It made me look insecure and rushed, like I was afraid of silence. She wasn't able to feel anything in the conversation. It was all logic, no emotion. Now, what I should have done? Instead of stacking questions, I should have made each moment breathe. For example, instead of, oh, okay, how often do you go there? Is that all you do for recreation? Do you go to school here? I could have said, yoga is dope. I've tried it a couple times, but I'm stiff as hell. What got you into it? This shifts the focus from rapid fire questions to engaging storytelling. Now, the fourth mistake, playing it too safe and being overly agreeable. Throughout the conversation, I was too accommodating. I reacted too passively to everything she said, instead of challenging her or adding any edge. Now, what happened because of this? I became predictable and forgettable. There was no challenge, no tension, no emotional engagement. She saw me as another nice guy who didn't excite her. Now, what I should have done, instead of softly agreeing to everything, I should have challenged her playfully. For example, when she said she's studying nursing, I could have teased her. Nursing. Damn, so you just love bossing people around, huh? When she said she likes to cook, I could have challenged her. Oh yeah? What's your signature dish? Or are we talking about microwave chef status? Hey, come on. This creates playful tension and flips the script, so she's working to impress me. Now, the final mistake, weak close and seeking approval. Now, why this was very weak? At the end, I said, I want to see you again, though. Emphasis on the though. This phrasing sounds like a request rather than a confident statement. And when she rejected, I immediately backed off with no attempt to reframe. Now, what happened because of this? It made me sound too eager, like I needed her validation. I didn't hold frame. I let her control the frame entirely. And when she rejected, I just accepted it and left, instead of pivoting or making it fun. Now, what I should have done? Instead of seeking approval, I should have assumed she would say yes and given her a reason to. For example, instead of, I want to see you again though, I should have said, you are cool, let's grab a coffee sometime. Confident and assumptive. If she rejected, I could have flipped it playfully. Damn, you reject me this easily. You don't even know what you're missing. Or I see how it is. Too good for me, huh? Something like that. This keeps it light, fun, and confident instead of making the rejection feel final. Now, final lessons. I was rejecting myself before she even had to. This wasn't just about her rejecting me. It was about how I set myself up for failure from the start. I played it too safe, I talked too fast, and didn't create space for emotions. I didn't own my presence. I sought validation instead. But the best part, I fixed all of it. Now, watch what happens when I change these exact mistakes.
Excuse me, miss. Crazy question. Can you tell me something that you never told anyone before?
That is a crazy
That is a crazy. I'm just being silly. I just want to give you attention. What's your name? Like, catch you at a bad time.
No,
Forgive me.
Here, let me just put my headphones
Take your
away.
time. Take your time.
Sorry.
No.
Hi.
How you doing, Bella?
good. Nice to
You
meet
look
you.
foreign. Where are you from?
I'm from Hungary.
What brings you out here?
I go to school here.
What are you studying?
I'm doing communications.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You gotta teach me. I think I would need to learn a little bit more. Do you understand like body language and things of that nature, or what does it entail?
More like media, PR work.
PR work. I think I would need that too as well. I want to see you again. I think you look stunning.
Thank you.
However, I want to see if I would like you. How about you get your number, and then I see you again. You smile a lot. Do you do that often? Oh, I'm just funny because I don't think I'm funny. Forgive me for being silly. Maybe next time you tell me something you never told anyone before.
Okay.
But I would let you go. And
It was nice to meet you.
it was nice meeting you too. Take it easy, okay? Bye.
This time, I made key adjustments that changed everything. I wasn't playing it safe, I wasn't rushing, and I wasn't seeking validation. Let's break down exactly what I did right, why it worked, and what you can take away from it. Number one, the first fix, the playful and bold opener. Excuse me, crazy question, yeah? Can you tell me something that you've never told anyone before? Now, why this worked? It was a pattern interrupt. This question is unexpected and forces her to think. Instead of a generic approach, I went for something that immediately sparked curiosity. It was also playful and bold. Instead of leading with fear, I leaned into an absurd question, which made her laugh. It was also an instant emotional hook. It made her react with, that is a crazy question, meaning I already created engagement from the jump. Now, why this is better than my old approach? Before, I sought permission to talk. Here, I assumed the interaction was happening. Before, I was too formal. Here, I made her feel something immediately. Before, I waited for her to invest. Here, I set the tone with confidence. You get me? Come on. Now, the key takeaways from this. Start with a statement or question that creates emotion. It can be humor, curiosity, or even shock, but it must disrupt autopilot responses. Now, number two, the second fix, slowing down and owning the space. I told her, take your time, miss. Now, why this worked? I didn't rush the interaction. I took control by pausing, adjusting myself, and letting the moment breathe. I acted like I belonged in the conversation. Instead of seeking approval, I acted as if this was a natural, normal interaction. Now, why this is better than my old approach? Before, I was talking too fast, stacking questions, and not letting her process. Here, I gave space for the moment to settle, which made the interaction feel effortless. Now, key takeaway, the way you hold space in the conversation is just as important as what you say. If you act like you belong there, she'll feel like you do too. Transference of energy, you get me? Number three, the third fix, subtly leading the conversation instead of question dumping. You look foreign. Where are you from, miss? Now, why this worked? This wasn't just a question. It was a statement. Instead of where are you from, I said you look foreign, which made her curious and got her talking. I framed it in a way that allowed her to explain naturally. Now, why this is better than my old approach. Before, I was question dumping without giving context. Here, I guided the conversation with curiosity instead of interrogation. Now, the key takeaway, instead of asking dry questions, use observational statements that naturally lead to more conversation. Now, the fourth fix, creating a loop in the conversation. You've got to teach me. I think I would need to learn a little bit more. Now, why this worked? Instead of just asking what she studies, I made it about me. This turned it into a playful challenge. She now had something to teach me. Now, why this is better than my old approach? Before, I just asked, what do you study? It led to a flat answer. Here, I made her invest in the conversation by giving her a role. Emphasis on that. Now, the key takeaway from all of this is, instead of just collecting information, find ways to loop yourself into the conversation. Make it a back and forth dynamic instead of a one-way street. Now, the fifth fix, create emotional investment. Before closing, I want to see you again. I think you look stunning. However, I want to see if I would like you too. How about you give me your number and we find out? Now, why this worked, my brother? I led with confidence instead of hesitation. I flipped the frame. Instead of seeking her approval, I subtly implied she had to prove herself too. You get me? However, shift. This turned the close into a mutual decision, not just me hoping she says yes. Now, why this is better than my old approach? Before, I asked for her number with no setup, making it seem desperate. Here, I made it seem natural, mutual, and playful. Now, the key takeaway, when closing, don't just ask for the number. Frame it as a mutual exchange. Show that you have standards too, my brother. The sixth fix, creating a callback to my opener. Forgive me for being silly. Maybe next time you tell me something you never told anyone before, I'll let you go. Now, why this worked? I closed the conversation by referencing the opener. This made the entire interaction feel cohesive and memorable. It subtly gave her a reason to see me again. She now had something to finish next time we meet. Now, why this is better than my old approach? Before, I ended the conversation abruptly with no emotional hook. Here, I left a playful, lingering curiosity that made the interaction feel more impactful. Now, the key takeaway, whenever possible, tie your closing statement back to the opener. This makes interactions feel complete and makes you memorable. Now, the final lessons, why this worked out so much better. I created curiosity from the start. I slowed down and let the moment breathe. I led instead of seeking validation. I made her invest in the conversation. I flipped the frame so it felt mutual. I closed in a way that left her thinking about me. This is how you turn basic conversations into a magnetic interaction. Now let's watch this approach back and compare it to the bad one. Notice how differently the energy flows when I shift my presence and intent. My throat. Bro, I need some tea. I can't even speak correctly anymore. My throat is hurting me. Hopefully this works because I'm actually tired of speaking on my days. Okay, let's get back to the video, eh?
Excuse me, miss. Excuse me, miss. Did I catch you at a bad time?
What can I help you with?
I just want to have a conversation.
Oh, sorry.
Now, in this clip, you see me make a weak approach and get immediately rejected. But the key here isn't just that I got rejected. It is why it happened and what my actions communicated. This is where most guys mess up. Not because they aren't good enough, but because their energy, words, and delivery signal the worst things from the start. Now, the first mistake, the weak opener, that gave her control. Excuse me, did I catch you at a bad time? Now, why this went wrong? I gave her an easy escape by asking if I caught her at a bad time. I immediately set up the expectation that she might say yes. I placed the decision in her hands too soon. Instead of taking charge and leading the interaction, I gave her the responsibility to decide whether the conversation should even happen. I showed uncertainty instead of confidence. Instead of assuming the interaction was going well, I started with a subconscious apology, making it seem like I was afraid of bothering her. What this sub communicates to her, I'm not sure if I should be talking to you right now. You have control over whether I get to speak or not. I am seeking permission instead of assuming I belong in this conversation. Now, what I should have done instead, I should have stated something with confidence instead of asking for permission. Set the frame that the interaction is already happening. For example, instead of did I catch you at a bad time? Hey, you looked interesting, so I had to say what's up. Now, the second mistake, no clear direction, just wanting to talk. What can I help you with? I just wanted to have a conversation. Here I go again with this BS. Now, why this went wrong? I didn't give her a reason to be engaged. The moment she asked, what can I help you with? It means she already saw me as a burden, not as someone interesting. I sounded needy. I just wanted to have a conversation is a phrase that screams, I'm hoping for your validation. It's very passive. It makes her feel like she has to do all the work. Now, what this sub communicates to her, I am here because I need something from you. I don't have a purpose in this interaction. So now you have to figure out how to respond. I am looking for approval instead of bringing value to the moment. Now, what I should have done instead, state an interesting observation about her. Set the frame that I am the one choosing whether she's interesting, not the other way around. For example, instead of I just wanted to have a conversation, I should have said, you give off this super focused energy. What's on your mind? The third mistake, no engagement, no adaptability. What happened here? Let me tell you what happened here. She wasn't necessarily rude. She just didn't feel compelled to stay and made no effort to build intrigue, create curiosity, or make the conversation fun. Now, why this led to instant rejection? Women respond to emotion, energy, and curiosity. If you don't spark any of those three things, she has no reason to stay engaged. I was making her do the work, and people don't like doing extra work, especially for a stranger. Now, what I should have done instead, create a natural hook in the first few seconds. Adjust based on her energy instead of sticking to a rigid script. Make the first interaction about her world, not my needs. Now, to regain control, instead of I just wanted to have a conversation, which sounds weak and needy, say something that flips the frame and shifts the dynamic. I could make a playful frame like, damn, you sound like customer service. Are you always this formal when you meet people? This breaks the tension and makes her laugh while subtly putting her in the frame of needing to engage with you like a normal person, not like a transaction. I could have also made like a light-hearted assumption about her. Like, for example, you're giving off, I'm on a secret mission vibes right now. Should I be concerned? This flips the interaction from a dry Q&A into a fun, playful conversation, making her feel more relaxed and engaged. Now, final lessons. Why this approach got rejected instantly. I gave her control instead of leading with confidence. I showed neediness instead of purpose. I didn't create intrigue, curiosity, or emotional engagement. I forced her to do the work instead of making the interaction flow. This is the kind of approach most guys make without realizing it's setting them up for rejection from the start. Now let's break down how I fixed this in the next clip and how the energy shift changed everything. Need my team, my goodness. I'm not feeling it today, but I still have to record this content. We have to record this message because it's very important.
Excuse me, miss. Did I catch you at a bad time?
Wait, sorry.
Oh, you're on the phone call.
Yeah,
I want to see you again. I think you look stunning. But since you're on the phone call, let me see you again. What? Take down my
phone number.
Yeah. I guess. You want?
Across
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Who are you speaking to? Was it important? Forgive me.
It's my mom.
Oh. Hey, mom. How's it going? Oh. Okay. Where are you from? Where are you from? I'm Bello. Are you from South Africa?
No, I'm not.
What part of Michigan or part of
Detroit.
Detroit? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, mom, but I'll text you.
Now, in this clip, I completely flipped the frame from reactive and needy to assertive and engaging. Let's break down exactly what I did differently and why it worked. The first line, did I catch you at a bad time? Now, why this worked better now? In my bad approach, opening with this line made me seem hesitant and afraid of rejection before the conversation even started. But this time, instead of pulling back, I owned the moment and adapted to her response. When she said, wait, sorry? Because she was on the phone call, I didn't panic or retreat. I simply acknowledged it in a relaxed way. Oh, you're on a phone call. This is very key. This is very important. Instead of awkwardly waiting or backing off, I stayed present and kept control of the conversation. Number two, I didn't get thrown off. I adapted immediately. In the bad approach, when I got resistance, I became passive, which made the conversation feel forced and unnecessary. Now, what I did differently this time, I acknowledged that she was busy, but I didn't let it kill the moment. Instead, I confidently said, I want to see you again. I think you look stunning. But since you're on the phone, let me see you again. Now, why this worked? I led with intent. I want to see you again. Instead of playing it safe, I didn't beg for her time. I established my own value while still showing respect for hers. Instead of forcing an interaction, I framed it as something she would want to be part of. Now the outcome, she gave me a number without hesitation. Number 3, the power move, casually engaging about her call. In my bad approach, I either ended the conversation too quickly or tried too hard to keep it going, making it feel unnatural. Now, what I did differently this time, instead of overthinking, I used playful curiosity to transition naturally. Who are you speaking to? Was it important? Forgive me. Now, why this was genius? It wasn't intrusive. I wasn't forcing the conversation. It kept the vibe light and humorous instead of stiff and formal. It made her feel like I was genuinely engaged rather than just trying to win her over. When she responded, "It's my mom," I took it up a notch with a playful response. "Hey mom, how's it going?" This flipped the whole interaction. It showed I wasn't fazed by distractions. It added a fun, playful dynamic. It made the moment feel effortless and natural. Instead of feeling like a cold approach, it felt like a real, confident conversation. Now, number 4, closing with authority and keeping the mystery alive. Now, what I used to do wrong, I would either rush the close or overstay my welcome, which made things awkward. Now, what I did differently this time, instead of jumping straight to logistics, I kept the conversation fluid. "You look like you're from South Africa." Now, why this worked? It kept intrigue high. She had to correct me, which kept her engaged. I let her respond naturally instead of bombarding her with more questions. I still led the conversation while keeping it light-hearted and fun, so I didn't overstay my welcome. Instead of dragging the interaction out, I smoothly transitioned out while keeping myself alive. She even ended the phone call herself, which showed she was interested and engaged. Now, final takeaways, why this approach worked. Number 1, I owned the interaction instead of seeking approval. I didn't hesitate or act like I needed permission to talk to her. I adjusted smoothly when she was on the phone instead of retreating. Number 2, I added playfulness and charisma. Acknowledging the mom call plus making the playful joke turned this into a natural, enjoyable moment. When I handled an unexpected situation smoothly, it proved that I was socially skilled and confident. Now, number 3, I led the interaction like a high-value man. I don't like that word, but we're going to say it anyways. Instead of over-explaining why I approached, I simply stated my intent and moved forward. She responded to my certainty and control, which made her invest in the interaction. So now, final reflection. If there's one thing from this entire experiment proved, is that confidence isn't just about what you say. It's about how you carry yourself, the way you own your space, handle unexpected moments, and lead the interaction determines everything. I didn't change my words much between my bad and good approaches. The difference was in my energy, intent, and presence. And that's what made women respond to me differently. So here's my challenge to you. Next time you approach someone, whether it's a woman, a stranger, or anyone, focus on your presence instead of obsessing over the perfect words. Pay attention to how you walk, how you hold eye contact, and how you react to resistance. Very important, because once you master this, you stop fearing rejection and start commanding respect. If you found this video valuable and you want more breakdowns, real-time insights, and exclusive content, join my Telegram community and drop voice notes breaking down in-field interactions, mindset shifts, and practical steps to build unshakable confidence. Click the link in the description to join the community and start leveling up. And let me know in the comments what's one thing that holds you back in conversations. Let's talk about it. If you got value from this, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We're just getting started. Train hard, connect deeper. See you in the next one in a bit.